Hare Krishna. Pure consciousness is not contentless but contaminationless. Pure consciousness is a term often used in spiritual circles. Spiritualists know that if they are to attain perfection, they need to make their consciousness pure. That understanding is common to all spiritualists. But what pure consciousness means, that often has varying interpretations. Some spiritualists, especially those of an impersonalist orientation, believe that pure consciousness means consciousness that has no content, contentless consciousness. Now, to understand what contentless consciousness means, let's analyze the contents of any conscious experience. There is whenever any conscious perception takes place. For example, say you are looking at this camera. So at that time, you are the subject of consciousness, you are the perceiver, and then the camera screen on which you are seeing a visual image, that is the object of perception, that is the perceived, and linking the subject and the object, the perceiver and the perceived, is the stream of consciousness. So these three are the components of any conscious experience. Now, contentless consciousness means that there is no content to the consciousness because there is no subject and no object. There is just the stream of consciousness. And the impersonalists believe that all conceptions of personality and individuality arise out of illusion. So the concept that there is a perceiver and there is a perceived, both are illusions. And when those conceptions are removed, then that person becomes then one has come to pure consciousness. So pure consciousness means just consciousness without any content, because there is no one to perceive and nothing to perceive. So there is no content of consciousness. Now such contentless consciousness, if that is pure consciousness, then actually that is a pure illusion, because there is no consciousness only, practically speaking. Because what is the meaning of consciousness without someone to be conscious and something to be conscious of? Now, consciousness essentially requires a subject and an object. So the idea of a contentless consciousness is illogical. Sometimes impersonalists try to conceal this illogicality under the cloak of ineffability. Oh, they say this is such a complex concept that it can't be put in words. But actually the concept of pure consciousness is put in words, and it is the opposite. It is quite different from, in fact opposed to, the impersonalist idea of contentless consciousness. So the Bhagavad Gita, right in its beginning, declares the eternality of the individuality of all living beings when it states in 2.12, Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadhipah nachaiva na bhavishyamah sarve vayavatah param. So Krishna says that Natvevaham jatu nasam, that neither I nor all these living beings, Natvam neme janadhipah, nor all these kings. So neither I nor you nor any of all these living beings, there was never a time they did not exist, nor will in the future there be a time when they don't exist. They will all exist eternally. And in that sense, all individuals are eternal. Both the Supreme Lord and other living beings also. Those who are devotees and the various kings who may not be devotees also. Everyone is eternal. And this eternality of the individuality is reiterated at the end of the Gita, where Arjuna, after becoming enlightened, declares Karishye vachanam tava in 18.73, says, I will do your will. What he means is that now what he is saying is not that he is becoming one with Krishna in intent, not one in being. That means his existence is still separate, but he's agreeing to do Krishna's will. And this oneness in intent is pure consciousness, which it is pure because it is free from the contamination of artificial desire for independence. Now, when we love Krishna, we naturally want to express that love by doing his will. And the desire to do anything other than the will of Krishna, the desire to do anything other than lovingly serve Krishna, that is the contamination. And that contamination is the cause of bondage and misery. And when we are free from that contamination, then we still exist as individuals and we desire to love and serve Krishna. And our pure consciousness doesn't desire or doesn't perceive or desire anything other than Krishna, rather perceives and desires to serve Krishna constantly and therein rejoice eternally. Thank you. Hare Krishna.